awesome battle of the Korean teams.
Oh,
And that the winner will move on to face Scarlet, who's totally epic. You can summarize that into the maximum amount of characters.
Alright, and we, on that note, guys, we are going to be taking a look at who are the players we will be watching. Right now, we're spawning directly on top of ST.Aphrodite, the blue Terran in the bottom left, and her opponent is SlayerS.Eve. Right now, Aphrodite is up 1-0. This is the losers bracket finals. Basically, the person who loses this game is going to be taking third place of the entire tournament, as that third place winner is guaranteed to be winning at $50 as well as a Hellion gaming mouse from Legion. So big shout out, thank you, and just absolute appreciation is being sent to Legion right now from the depths of my heart. So thank you guys. I usually guys should definitely go to facebook.com/Legion and Legion.com and show them that you like what they do, because we want this to continue, we want this to grow, and we want you all to enjoy the product and the fruits of our labors.
And for the love of esports.
Yes.
For esports! Cry war! War cry, not cry war.
Oh. It's almost like Warcraft, but not quite, because we're in StarCraft.
Alright, I tweeted for you guys, so all you have to do is retweet if you want to.
Awesome. I actually just managed to tap my own win with the magical things of alt tabbing. Alright. I feel accomplished for that. But guys, we got a great TVT. We've already seen Aphrodite do some great play, and I really want to emphasize the fact that Aphrodite has kind of had a weakness in previous tournaments that we've seen, and her gameplay in that she's very stagnant. Like, she plays amazingly well, but she'll do the same thing over and over again. Kind of analogous actually to Idra, and how Idra can get taken advantage for that exact same thing. But we saw Aphrodite in the last game do a great deviation on the same map, the same matchup against the same person. She ended up not committing to one basing for a incredibly long time, just going instead for a similar start to fake that stagnant gameplay, and then instead going for an expansion around the 8-minute mark, I want to say, which ended up giving her a great macro position to go into the game and end up being able to overrun SlayerS.Eve with just solid play.
Indeed. So here we see that Eve is opting to go for a very fast command center along with double gas. So we might see from her cloaked Banshee, but I don't know, she can surprise us again. Maybe she's gonna do something with siege tanks, or I don't know, she could surprise me.
She really seems to enjoy her siege tanks, but one thing that I really want to see is if she does go for siege tanks, to actually get a faster siege mode.
Yeah, that is true. It seems like it would be more effective, but then again, I can understand how she's prioritizing actually getting units.
Yeah, I mean, Aphrodite is very aggressive, so sometimes you do have to balance that tech versus units choices a little oddly, and sometimes not as ideal as you would like to, but you need to make sure that you don't die. That's the one major thing. Like, it doesn't matter what tech you're going for if you're just going to die and not be able to utilize said tech.
Yeah.
And I also note, take a look at Aphrodite's starting build order. It's exactly the same. But let's see what she does afterwards, what she's going to commit to, and what she's going to go for her expansion timing, if she's going to expand at all, because her deviation seems to happen after the 7 or 8 minute mark for her style of play.
Yeah, exactly. She does love that 1-1-1 build.
And justifiably so.
Yeah, of course. And yeah, this time it's like a delayed one. It's like one expand 1-1 built by SlayerS.Eve.
Yeah.
That I like that choice because she's getting double Muse, double SCV production, so she's taking an economical lead. But she might be punished by Aphrodite if Aphrodite decides to pressure her at a stage that she wouldn't be ready to be pressured yet.
Yeah, and it looks like Eve fears exactly that. We see a bunker going down right now, which is, it could almost be considered scared play, but it really shouldn't be. It should be considered as safe play. Aphrodite is very aggressive very quickly, and knowing this, it's a much safer move to go for that bunker, making sure that the Marines can stay alive to the Hellion forces on the bottom of the ramp, because right now damage is being done. Eve has now lost that lower supply depot, and this other one is really in danger of going down, and that will supply block Eve even more than she really should be.
Yeah, that supply depot going down is actually huge, huge wins right there for Aphrodite. Do not underestimate the supply block.
Oh yeah, and we do see that there are a couple supply depots that are being made are going to be finished shortly, so the supply block will end, but Aphrodite is now taking a huge lead by getting down her Expo and completely containing the fast expanding Eve to one base. We just see some Marines burning in anguish and pain. I still am confused as to how the rifles themselves actually burn and get on fire. I feel like that's not supposed to be possible.
Well, at least now SlayerS.Eve does have the sky advantage, the air advantage, so she's gonna be able to push back the Banshee as well as the Viking. But then again, the Viking can be repaired, but there's 2 Vikings for you, so she has the advantage there. But she must be feeling the pressure.
Yeah, Aphrodite is playing really well, producing just off the 111, and the expansion is up and running, doing quite nicely, as there's going to be a very quick double gas there as well. Aphrodite really does a great job of utilizing this aggression to the maximum amount of advantage. It's not meant to just straight up win, it's meant to just give her increasingly small leads and advantage over time, and then when you actually add it up, all of a sudden you realize, oh, 5 minutes down the line, she's really far ahead.
Yeah, totally. Well, at least the thing that's going for Eve is the double SCV and the double mule. But then again, now Aphrodite has her expansion. But at least it helped Eve try to keep up for longer. It's not as dramatic as it could have been.
Yeah, I mean, the good thing for the good thing for Eve is the fact that Aphrodite hasn't killed too many workers, which means that if Eve continues building SCVs like she is, she'll be able to saturate her expansion when she's comfortable with moving down, and that will be a potentially game-saving move to be able to have the economy available once she can actually spread her orbital commands.
Yeah, well, still, then again, 38 SCVs for Aphrodite against 28 for Eve, so she's pretty far back, but then again, she does have more siege tanks. She has the siege tank and the marine head.
And with the siege mode now engaging for Eve, she's going to be able to get a few splash shots off on those units, not being able to kill too much, but take a look at the red that is there. Looks like Eve is finally going to be able to take her natural expansion formally with her orbital command now being able to land. And Aphrodite is walking around with some units, including a Viking on the ground, to keep it alive, because Eve does have that air control right now.
That's actually that's a pretty sweet move. I like that.
So Eve has really been able to try and stay in this quite well. You see how her food count is not that far behind of Aphrodite's, and the army supply is quite literally identical, but the 14, now 15 difference in the SCV count is quite scary and potentially really bad, because we can see Aphrodite's been able to kill so much from Eve that Eve has not been able to duplicate or rebuild.
Yeah, totally. So, what is going on now? I think we are seeing Eve wanting to gear up to take the third, because you can see that she's taking down the rock, so that's a very telling move right there. But meanwhile, what is going on with Aphrodite? Exact same timing, taking down the rocks.
Yeah, and Aphrodite's third is technically a little bit faster. That command center is there, about a third of the way done, and we're going to see a drop from Eve right now, being escorted by the Vikings, and then we're going to see this drop being able to take down the SCV that's building the command center, so they're going to see that stop building, and we could actually see a force cancellation on that, although Aphrodite should be in time to save it. The Hellions are in play. Looks like Eve will not. Oh, Eve could be losing that medevac. The full medevac goes down. One Marine is there, but that gets shut down. Aphrodite just had a pivotal moment in this game in taking down that drop and taking away the air presence and the units of Eve.
Yeah, and seizing that opportunity, she decides to move forward. But does she have enough to take on so many siege tanks from SlayerS.Eve? I doubt it.
Yeah, that's a really commanding. But look at Eve's macro. She's able to produce so much more than we've been expecting this entire time. Look at that. Even losing all those units down there, she's basically even army supply. But now that Aphrodite just fixed that supply block, it's going a little bit more into Aphrodite's favor. But still, Eve is really macroing incredibly well.
Yeah, I agree with you. And ooh, Aphrodite bringing in the spotter barrack of doom. And yeah, she seems like she's gonna take her third right now. Yeah, very safely taking her third. And at the same time, we got SlayerS.Eve taking her third too. So both of them really nice taming. And yeah.
Yeah, and Aphrodite once again being so on top of getting down those refineries. Look at the time that the refinery is going to complete and the orbital command is actually going to land. That is ridiculously good and solid for having the maximum amount of income from that gas, from those gas geysers. Just really solid job there. We're going to see barracks falling in the middle of the map too. Aphrodite is not going to be able to keep this going quite well, or maybe actually we'll be able to save it unless we see the Marines going into the medevacs, or it's going down over here to just hit the barracks from the low ground, or it's going to attack instead. There's always that third option.
There are many options, but right now the supplies are even.
Yep, they are even, but notice how Eve has been forced to get down a PF at her third because she's been so pushed far back, while Aphrodite's got an orbital command, so that economy lead is definitely in favor of Aphrodite now, on even more than it was before.
Yeah, because she also has 15 more supplies of SCV, so she has the smaller army somewhat, but the stronger economy. So the longer this goes on, the longer, the more Aphrodite is gonna like get into this, like being ahead. But ooh, taking a few volleys on those Vikings, but taking down everything that was in the air for Eve.
Yep, and it looks like somehow those Hellions have a peace agreement with that SCV. Oh, never mind, that is now over. So we have these three Hells going to push in and try and harass. The PF is here, but look at the positioning. Very nice positioning on these Hellions to make sure they cannot die. And they're going to be able to, finally get killed by a few tanks moving along to the bottom. But shutting down mining and doing a little bit of economic harassment is always good. Aphrodite has now killed 6 SCVs total.
Yeah, that's pretty sweet. Well, what I like coming from SlayerS.Eve is that she's being really active with her bioforce around the map. Even though she's going kind of heavy in the siege tanks, she's still using the mobility that she gets, because Aphrodite is less mobile because she opted to go for full-on mech style.
Yeah, but Aphrodite is getting such a powerful siege tank line. Thor's on the field. The +1 attack is in play as well. You've got the double armory researching. This is going to be a very devastating army. And look at Eve getting a base in the top left. So the 4th base is officially faster for her than it is for Aphrodite, while Eve is going for more of a biocentric style.
Yeah, well, that makes a ton of sense considering that she's more mobile. I mean, the mech army is really slow at this point, so especially if there was like a base trade situation happening or something like that, that choice is really, really good.
Yep. Opening drops, multi-pronged attacks, abuse the immobility of the mech, and Eve can definitely try to really trade well. And plus, when you are heavy with bio, what you can do is just literally load up a few medevacs and drop directly on the siege tank line. Let that splash of Aphrodite just backfire completely. And that'll be a great little move, but it looks like Eve's going to try and be aggressive in a really rough spot. So Aphrodite's going to reposition accordingly, and we can't really see Eve pressure this position.
Yeah, I always agree with you. I should stop saying it.
Oh, don't worry about it. It makes me feel good.
I'll just nod in silence.
It makes me feel good, so I'm perfectly happy with it.
Awesome. So we see Aphrodite moving forward, getting a very nice siege tank shot off on the bioforces of Eve. But Eve is not Hope isn't lost yet. I mean, a bio army can do surprising things.
It really
Especially when the siege tanks are becoming more spread. When you spread too thinly, that's when the bio army is so powerful.
Yeah, that's so true. That's really, really true. Because if we have these siege tanks being engaged, just to say from the left, and they'll be able to move in, we have a good spread of the bio units. They'll be able to just completely concave against these siege tanks progressively, and there'll only be a few siege tanks attacking at one time. So their damage output becomes decreased in the fact that only a quarter of the army would actually be attacking at a single point in time.
Yeah, well, now Aphrodite is realizing that, so she's constantly repositioning her siege tanks to make sure that she's gonna not caught, like, out of position in terms of missing siege tanks somewhere.
Okay.
And yeah, Aphrodite she's getting a little scouting info. She's trying to get some harass going, but that is not gonna work too well. Well, she's killing a little bit of SCVs, but nothing too major.
Yeah, these Hellions are doing a less bit of damage, but the big thing is forcing the entire army back, and Aphrodite could take advantage of these tanks that are on the left, but...
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. She could actually drop the Vikings on them and just take them out that way. But she needs to keep the air advantage.
Oh yeah, there we go. All these medevacs are so vulnerable to the Vikings. We're seeing a big stim on all the bio. If these medevacs can get sniped by those Vikings, that would be absolutely huge.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god, they're really, really vulnerable. But it looks like Eve is now going to regroup her army. And oh
what's
my
going
god!
on with the siege tanks? Oh my god! That was a misclick.
Oh, that was really unfortunate. But look at Eve in her macro. She's expanding to the top left. She's got the entire top half of the map, either with bases already in play or getting those bases set up.
And now opting to pick the watchtower, which I really like, but she's low on supply and out of position with 3 of her siege tanks right there. She's gonna lose that tower, of course. And so many siege tanks for Aphrodite.
We saw Eve going for the massive siege tank count before against Flo, but now it's Aphrodite doing exactly that against her. This is craziness, just moving along. There are so many tanks on the field for her, so many tanks, 19 going up against a smaller Bioforce. That is really bad for the Bioforce, as they're just going to get completely overrun if they engage down this ramp, because this siege tanks are here going to be able to splash them all to death.
Yeah, exactly what I'm thinking right there. And what is Eve doing at the watchtower right now? What is she gonna do with that army? That's what I'm wondering.
She's either gonna counterattack or prepare for a full surround. Looks like she's gonna go with the full surround route, or just group down there. But we see siege mode or stim going down as well. We see him pushing forward as they're moving forward. They're trying to engage, but right now there's just too much from Aphrodite. There's these units are going to be falling down. He is trying to bust down here. We're going to see a landing of those Vikings going to kill off the siege tanks down there. Aphrodite's taking such control of this game. The Bioforces got cleaned up on the left, and Aphrodite is pushing through with Vikings that are lower.
With landed Vikings moving forward, that's actually pretty epic. But she's gonna lose her air advantage now. That's one thing. But then again, she has a lot more supply than Eve at this point, and so many siege tanks are incoming. One Banshee would be really good for Eve at this point, but I don't think she can afford it at this point. Well, she does have the money, but I mean, does she have the time, and she doesn't have the tech lab, etc.
Yeah, now the one Banshee's out for Aphrodite, being so solid. Aphrodite is looking like she can easily expand again. She's got, oh, look at all her, I wonder how many orbital commands she has, because right now she's entrenched incredibly solidly. We see that her orbital command count is actually scarily high, looking like she's at a whopping 8 with half that bases.
Yeah, well, also, I think Eve is missing a little bit of production capabilities right now. She's quite, she has a lot of money right now. That could be units.
Yep, she is producing from all of her structures now. So she's actually trying to macro. But oh, look at the barracks all the way in the top left. Ooh,
she just lost 2 medevacs full of units, or 1.
Oh yeah.
But still, that's pretty bad.
And Eve is now going to lose more medevacs, more marauders, and I think this is going to be the nail in the coffin as Eve's going to lose these units. She's separated. She's got a lot of Marauders in top left. She may be able to stim right now and try and catch these siege tanks on siege, but PF is going to help out a lot in terms of dealing. But look at the range of the PF. It's 6. Siege tanks on siege, 7. So siege tanks actually outrange the planetary fortress, guys. Keep that in mind in terms of how easy that just was for that to go down. But Eve is trying to do what she can. She's holding on as much as she can. Never give up. Never surrender. As Aphrodite is looking like she really wants to go ahead and win for the kill.
Yeah, she wants to. She has her little hammer right there, and she has her nail, and she's trying to bang it as hard as she can.
Oh yeah, but now we're going to see this pushing forward. So many tanks. Now they're going to siege up, and that's going to be a death volley that you've never seen before. But there's a Marauder surround. Complete Marauder surround is going to completely decimate the tanks.
That's actually really sick. But Aphrodite is still so far ahead in supply. But that's really good for Eve. I mean, that's what she needed. A big slip up from Aphrodite. I think she got too greedy and she got up the ramp being on siege, and then after losing a lot of siege tanks, then opting to siege, that decision was a little bit weird.
Yeah, but the problem is I think it may just be a moral victory to kill off that army.
Yeah, I agree.
Unfortunately, because right now we have 11 command centers in some form on the map for Aphrodite, including the top left base that is being made, and we have this barracks, just literally just a barracks is in the other person's base right now, just floating around, hanging out. Now you've got Thoros from Aphrodite moving along. That's 3 back. Oh, that's really dangerous. You've got the siege up going down now. A nice angle of engagement, though, is coming down from Aphrodite. She's moving forward. The Marauders are doing a great job of dealing with these tanks, but she's trading forces, and she can't really afford to trade forces because we've got 7 Thors moving along the map.
Yeah, that is true. She's dwindling in supply really quickly. I mean, she's doing good engagements, though, that's for sure. But at some point, she just won't have enough.
Yeah, devastating. We're seeing the Thors getting stim. The stim Marauders against Thors are really good, but it's the number game that is really not sitting well with, really not sitting well at all for Eve. I mean, right now, look at the food count. There's more SCVs for Aphrodite than there's food count for Eve.
Well, I mean, there's 6 Marauders and 9 Thors, and that's it. I mean...
There's the GG. Game number 2 now goes to Aphrodite, which means Eve, and congratulations to her for getting 3rd place in the Iron Lady, showing quite well. She won $50 as well as a Hellion Gaming Mouse. Congratulations to her. Aphrodite, on the other hand, is going on to the finals. So Aphrodite has officially sealed at least $100 and a mouse for her. She'll be going against Scarlet next. Don't go away, because this is going to be awesome.
Don't go away.
Okay, guys, so now that was a great best of 3, really solid showing by Aphrodite and Eve. That was amazing. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and just quickly once again say thank you to Legion for being an amazing sponsor. Go to facebook.com/Legion and facebook.com/IronLadyESL to go ahead and get your likes in there to possibly win a Hellion Gaming Mouse of your own, because they are quite awesome. We're going to go ahead, go into a quick commercial break, but afterwards we have got an amazing, amazing grand final of Star-Steel Aphrodite versus Scarlet.
Legion Hellion, built for PC gaming. High-end Omron micro switches, Cherry MX mechanical keyboard switch for superb quality and response, and aluminum support plate for tactile feedback and stability. Together combines into Hellion's dedicated mechanical attack key, Hit and Run Optimize. Top quality tangle-free bend resistance braided cable and gold-plated USB connector for optimal lossless signal. 16 million color programmable LED lighting for full customization. Dedicated attack key for easy hit and run tactics. Be ahead of your opponents. Race switch wheel for on-the-fly 5-profile switching, customized to fit your style. An LED lighting profile indicator. DPI changes are fast and easy. Never forget what setting you're using, thanks to enhanced color representation. DPI ranges from 100 all the way to 5,000. Easy button management within Windows for quick button profiling. Performance enhancements are fully customizable. Macro assignment has never been easier. Any game, any button. Match your game, mood, or style for each profile. Hellion. PC Gaming Reborn.